Okay.
All right, we're gonna give this a super clickbaity title.
Okay.
I marathoned all the modern Texas Chainsaw movies. Or something.
Well, it was the original and then 2 more modern ones. Yeah, sure.
Go
I did marathon them though.
Yeah.
I did watch them back to back.
All right, so explain yourself.
Okay. So I mentioned this in our AMA video, but last Thursday I was feeling super awful. So I called out of my wrestling training. And I was like, well, it's not like I'm leaving my bed. So I watched. I was hanging out with Tony, and we watched not that one.
At Two Brute
with my Tony, and we watched 3 Texas Chainsaw movies in a row, back to back. I watched the original. Well, okay, I rewatched the original Texas Chainsaw. I was like, clarifying. I've seen that movie. I fucking love it. Gave me like a whole meat hook thing. It's great, right? Had seen that before we rewatched it, with additional commentary. Yeah, honestly, I want to hear you and him talk about the Leatherface universe, because he the way you are about every movie, he is about that. So I got some
Leatherface-averse.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that hurt my soul. Once we finished that, it recommended next Texas Chainsaw 3D, and then we watched the prequel Leatherface.
Yes. No, hold on. Because I get these confused. Is Leatherface the one where, like, he's born in, like, a slaughterhouse in the beginning, and, like, they fire him, and he, like...
this is the one where he's a kid, and he's put in a mental hospital.
And the mom is the chick from, The Haunting of Hill House, or whatever.
I think so, yeah.
Or the Haunting. And he, like, it turns out that, like, the one you think is Leatherface is not Leatherface. It's, like...
Bud, my boy.
Yeah. And he wears, like, a bull head or something.
I think so. That does sound familiar.
All right. Then I have seen it. I get them confused.
No, you're good. Because I watched them all back to back, I got 3D and Leatherface a little bit mixed up, and I was like, no. They grabbed him when when they initially burned down the house. I'm like, no, that's the chick from 3D. Anyway.
Do you think?
Yeah. It's the one moment in the movie that I was just like, oh.
Or that, like,
I know that continuity was.
No, like, but just the fact that, like, her shirt's completely exposed, but no matter what, like, it
her
boobs.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on with that shirt?
Okay, well, backing up. According to Tony, these are the 3, like, the canon, like, timeline of Bubba.
Okay.
He might then watch this back and be like, oh my god, you didn't explain that right at all.
Yeah.
But essentially, like, these 3 movies are, like, crucial. I don't know. So, even if the prequel was painful, it was first...
Because there was another prequel to the Michael Bay one.
Okay.
Because there was the Marcus Nespel, Platinum Dunes, Michael Bay produced Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 2003, I think it was.
Yes, I do. The remake, I like.
Jessica Biel, I think it was.
That one was nice.
The dude who played Leatherface was also Chip Shrek in Batman Returns. He was Christopher Walken's son.
Okay.
Time to bring joy to the masses. But apparently that dude in real life is like a fucking right-wing psychopath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. But I didn't dislike that movie. I just thought that. My favorite thing about the original is just the starkness of it. Yeah. The fact that everything is so bone dry that you can almost smell and feel it. That's
grimy. That's what it was.
Grimy,
it's very grimy movie.
And there's something about just the sheer.
In a similar way that Maniac was. Actually.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. There is that tactile level of filth on it, you know.
Like you can all the behind the scenes stuff that I've read about the original Texas Chainsaw. I've just like watching it again. I was like, oh yeah, like them like having to legitimately cut her finger because the blood packet wasn't working, and just how gross everyone felt and was because it was like the middle of the summer in Texas,
covering the set with bones.
And bones that are so obviously shoot bones and like
fucking weird ass
corpse pieces, and you're just like, oh, that's
chickens
like actually...
in cages, and you're like, I don't know why that's frightening, but it is.
It's an alarm.
Yeah.
Because as soon as she showed up,
the chickens
start making noise, and now Bubba knows you're here.
And the whole thing about that too is like Bubba, and that's my main problem with all of the Texas Chainsaw movies that follow it, with the exception
where they make him like
2.
smart.
But no, they make him the focus of it, where he's not supposed to be the focus. The family, the Saw is family. But just the idea that like he's just this mentally enfeebled guy who's having a bad day because all these fucking hippies show up, and he knows that his family's going to abuse him if he doesn't do something about it, you know? So Leatherface, while he's the icon of the thing, is very much
the main character.
He's a victim in the first movie. You know?
Oh my god, like that's probably why I liked him
Sawyer,
so much.
Drayton Sawyer, the
the
cook and you know and the hitchhiker and but my favorite of all of them is part 2. Okay. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 is.
I don't think I saw that one.
Is great. It's a dark comedy.
Okay. Yes.
Cannon Films put it out. Stretch is in it. And Leatherface falls in love with this DJ, and Chop Top is Bill Moseley, and he's got a metal plate in his head, and he's constantly burning a clothes hanger and putting on this thing to scratch his head and stuff like that. Yeah. It's fucked up and weird. They went with a chili cook-off, but like there's like human parts in the cookie,
like notable parts.
Exactly.
Like, wow, that's identifiable. Yeah.
Yeah, and it starts with Tom Savini did the special effects for it. Starts with a great Oingo Boingo song. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre too, but the first one, depending on my mood, that and Dawn of the Dead are probably 2 of the greatest independent American films that have ever been made.
Yeah, because like whenever I say that Texas Chainsaw is like my favorite slasher movie, everyone's like, "Oh, of course." I'm like, "Okay, yes." Aside from the obvious, though, there's not just legitimately
gore in it.
It's not super gory.
No, but there's
and they're not even explicitly cannibals.
Exactly.
Like, yes, obviously we can tell more, but like they're not explicitly cannibals.
I love movies where people in wheelchairs die. Because fuck them.
But yeah, no, it's just genuinely like I've always been a fan of that movie.
Sally's brother is the most annoying character probably in movie history, and it's
pretty annoying.
And any movie that has there's so many raspberries being blown in that movie. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. Yeah, but go ahead.
But no, you're good. I was just gonna. For so many reasons, this movie is good. Aside from like the serial killer family thing, obviously something I idolized as a kid. Yeah. But I can't say things like that. But yeah,
the sound of the old camera, and then these random flashes of these bodies, and you don't quite know what it is until you revealed that fucking totem that it creates of bodies, and it's just like, okay, this is, and again, it's coming at a time when you have Last House on the Left, you have these other very, like I said, stark before, these other independent films that are just like, they seem like a maniac is behind the camera, because you don't know where, you don't know. Again, I remember the very first time I ever saw this movie for the first time, all the way through, uncut, because they used to do ads on TV where you could buy the VHS things, like almost like they used to do ads for like the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was like Stephen King movies and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you could call this number and you could get the movie. VHS, and I just remember like there were certain shots. There's that shot where Leatherface has the, you know, he's licking his like teeth, and then the one of the girls, she's already on the hook and she's screaming, and I'm like, this is clearly a work of insanity. Yeah. And then when you see the movie, there's certain movies that I've seen in my life where I was young enough to go like, I don't know if I want to go where this is taking me, you know, and this was one of those movies as a kid that like you because it is the greatest title in movie history. Yeah. Every word in it is more terrifying than the word before it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know? So it's one of those ones where I remember watching it for the first time, and it's also important because the remake came out when I first met Christy Berger, and we went and saw that on a very early date, and the very first time we ever kissed was watching the I went to her parents' house where she was living, and we watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one. I brought the DVD over.
Hell yeah.
And when her friend Melody was with us, because I'd never been to the town where she lived in, even though it was like right near mine, and I didn't think it was a real place, and I got lost going there, so her friend had to meet me at the mall and drive there so we could watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we had to wait for her friend to leave the room, and then I finally worked up the nerve to kiss her. Aww. So I remember the movie was paused on screen, and finally working up the courage to kiss her. So that's always a
What was the scene?
The scene was when it's fairly early in the movie. It's when there's all the daddy long legs in the corner. So and then like they're having the conversation. Marilyn Burns talking about like when this was my room and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Another one. Marilyn Burns was so fucking hot and and she's another one who didn't get the respect that she deserved as an amazing fucking screamer. Oh my god. The ending of that movie is just utter madness. Screaming, and I'll never forget Exhumed Films in Philadelphia used to do 24-hour film festivals at the Cinemark Theater in Voorhees, New Jersey. And the first night they did it was all Italian horror movies. And I went with this guy I used to be friends with in school named Phil Krachin. And then the next night I went with Justin Silverman. It was a 24-hour film festival thing, or full day. And the ending that's like 5 a.m. was that scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So we're all punch drunk. And then we're like, it's just that screaming. And when we left the theater, like, I just remember my head was like vibrating still. Ooh. And then we went to IHOP.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Continue it. No, it's all right. Continue.
Oh my god. But yeah,
I get my asides.
Yeah. So I can't say enough about how much I love the original. Yeah. And honestly, I still liked the remake. Like, I did see the remake first. Okay. And then I went back and watched the. My God, you took me not one. I know I said to get rid of him.
Maker's Mark, you should promote this for us.
You know what? Then
Whenever I watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I drink Maker's Mark.
Maybe I won't tell you why I wanted to get rid of it. Then.
Okay.
But
yeah. Do you know what the original title to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was?
Oh fuck. I did know this. I can like feel Tony's disappointment because he told me again.
And they talk about it in the movie too.
They do. What is it?
Head cheese.
Oh, right. Yep. They do talk about head cheese.
The original title of the movie was Head Cheese. Yeah. And instead of the armadillo in the beginning that you see dead, it was a dog.
Oh, okay.
But they thought it was too depressing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the original, obviously, amazing. So then we went into 3D, which I'd never seen before, and I was prefaced with like the gore's really good. There are a couple of scenes that are a little cheesy because this would look good in 3D. Yeah. And like for example, like the chainsaw
I saw it in 3D.
Yeah. So the chainsaw coming through the coffin lid, like of course that's gonna be.
Yeah.
Aside from the obvious continuity error of like how is she like young 20s?
Okay, so it starts with the.
It starts minutes after the original ends. Yes. Which was super wild because I watched it back to.
And you have like Drayden Sawyer is played by Bill Moseley, who played Chop Top in Part 2. Gunnar Hansen played Leatherface in the original. He's in that scene. So that was cool to see them back in the fold.
A lot of those characters come back.
But it did remind me of like a subdued version of the Siege in Devil's Rejects.
Ooh,
the Rob Zombie movie. And then you have like the tombstone, but then they cover up the date because they're like, oh fuck, this continuity doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, they burned down the Sawyer home as the cops are trying to de-escalate, and they specifically make a point to be like, okay, they looping back to the Bubba being a victim as well by the interestingly, sorry, just that. Yeah. They were like the cops were like hand over Bubba and we'll be good. And then these vigilantes come up and burn the place down, and then they steal this baby and kick the mother in the head to death, like very quickly, just once, like, which I didn't think that would kill her. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, but you gotta think they're probably like inbred, like.
No, yeah, they are.
Like, so their heads are probably pretty soft. They got.
Sorry, that sounds so good. Yeah, all right, fair enough.
My soft spot never healed; it just expanded.
That's amazing.
It's that Family Guy one where Britney Spears is smoking a cigarette. She's on the phone. She's holding her baby. She pushes in her baby's soft spot to ash in it.
That's like a. Oh my god. Sorry. What the fuck? Oh yeah.
It's like those kids who wear like helmets that look like egg cartons. Like kids who have like soft skulls. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why that just popped up into my mind.
You're good. Yeah. It may be on the Maker's Mark, because I had one shot and you've drank the rest of it.
Makers, Macas, cranberry.
It wasn't full, to be clear, but it was like...
No, I'm good. I'm just...
Yeah, no, you're just having a good time.
Yeah, I'm just having a good time. Fucking talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But yeah, fucking... Oh yeah, they steal this baby, the vigilantes do, and they like take her... and raise her, but then like hate her. And I'm like, how are you gonna murder someone for this baby and then be like, no, I didn't want this?
She straight up would have been better off living with the chainsaw family.
Unironically, you know, and like, you know,
and she still grows up. She still grows up to be super fucking hot, Alexandra Deodato or whatever her name is, from Baywatch movie and True Detective season 1.
Yeah. Tony kept telling me like, oh yeah, she looks like you. I'm like, no, she doesn't. Stop that.
So there's this. I had never seen her in anything before. And then there's this, she's in the first season of True Detective, which is one of the greatest TV shows ever. She's cheating, Woody Harrelson's cheating on his wife with her, and she's like a legal clerk, and she like handcuffs his hands behind his back, and she's fucking him. She takes her top off, and I was like, who the fuck is this, and where has she been in my life, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of her.
That's fair. But yeah, she plays this this goth lady rather well. She's not explicitly goth, but I mean, you know,
she's alternative.
Yeah, she's alt. And she I like I think wait, was this the one? No, it wasn't. Never mind. I'll get back to that with Leatherface. But one of these movies I misunderstood and thought it was something else that I already seen. So I'd stopped paying attention. And I looked back and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" It wasn't this one. It was Leatherface, the prequel.
Okay.
I thought it was the remake for some reason. But and I was distracted. But I digress. So she gets, I guess Verna dies. So she gets what is her, Heather, how did I remember that? Heather, who was the baby who was stolen, has been bequeathed the Sawyer home, which had been rebuilt from
which is now like it's more like a Louisiana manor. Like it looks like it would have been out of the Gwyneth Paltrow version of Great Expectations, like more than like
it's like nice.
Yeah, exactly.
For some reason.
Yeah, I mean,
but then there's still the room with like the bones and shit.
Everybody needs.
But I mean, like
that's my bedroom. I call it the bone room.
Hey.
It's just me by myself in there crying, and my cat looking at me like you're disgusting.
But yeah, I don't know. Am I doing beat by beat or am I just?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Sure.
She's got a boyfriend who's like a internet rapper, but it's supposed to be the 1980s.
And then like her best friend like is so gung ho about fucking her boyfriend. Yeah. I'm so mad about it. Because he's like, nah, I'm good. And then he ends up fucking her, which.
I mean.
But like, yeah, no.
And that dude actually was a rapper who was like popular on MySpace for like a minute.
Alright, good for him.
Because I worked at I worked at one of the hotels as the overnight auditor when this movie came out, because I remember I went to go. This came out around like literally the same week that Hannibal started airing, I think.
That tracks.
Because I remember I went to go see this. I went to work. Work was super slow, and I pulled up Hannibal on
the show. You're saying
Hannibal the show on like Hulu or something like that.
Because that started like 2017.
No, Hannibal.
The show.
Way before that.
2014.
2012, 2013 era.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Because I know that I've rewatched it a million times, but like, is it really that old?
Yeah.
Jesus, hang on. No, I'm gonna look it up now.
I saw a picture recently. Mads Mikkelsen was signing at a convention, and someone was holding up their baby, and he was giving.
2013. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So it was before I moved to Tucson.
Yeah.
But it was somebody holding up their baby to high five him, and the caption was "No thanks, I'm full."
I love that so much.
But yeah, this came out around the same time as that, because I remember getting to work after Texas Chainsaw and watching the pilot of Hannibal on like Hulu or some shit like that. Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw 3D. Come on, you can work. There you
go. Clint Eastwood's son.
Yeah, 2013. Okay.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood's son is in this movie.
Yes.
Who was also in like Suicide Squad. He was in a movie about like a Nicholas Sparks movie about like rodeo riders that we had at the Wayne. Remember that kid Tommy who worked there?
Yes.
He saw it by himself because his girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
His girlfriend stood him up, and he saw it by himself, and he came out of the theater fucking bawling his eyes out.
Well, that's unfortunate. Oh my god. Right, but yeah, so she takes her friends and road trips down, and some guy. So I did actually, I think I stopped paying attention because we ordered food or something. But yeah, they like road trip down to Texas. I don't know where the hell she ended up, but to be fair, it may have just been somewhere else in Texas, and it's that far. But Yeah, she.
You know, this ain't Texas.
No.
It's Beyonce became a country singer.
Oh, did she?
And she put out a country album. And the funniest thing about it was
that like a year ago, maybe?
No, I guess it was, but like a couple weeks ago I guess it was like a month ago when I had that show in Delaware.
Yeah.
Where so the third floor is like a bar and like dance thing, and it's predominantly black. Mm-hmm. And the lady in the thing sent me up to the third floor. And when I opened the door, it was just all these black ladies in red cowboy hats turned at me, and I went like this. This ain't my floor. And then the thing closed.
How did you not tell me that?
I thought I did. I was just like, this ain't my floor. And the thing closed on me, so I gotta imagine the people were like, what the fuck?
Why were there so many ladies in
Because they're all Beyonce fans and her country album.
Alright.
Because there's Beyonce put out a country album, and what's that super gay guy who put out a country song?
Lil Nas?
Is that what he is?
Maybe.
Okay, I think that's awesome. There's like the gayest dude ever, and like the queen of black people, and they're like, oh yeah, we're doing country music now. And white people gotta be like, son of a bitch, they do that better too. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw 3D. Had one of the sexiest kills I've ever seen.
Okay.
By the way, sorry, I'm now out of chronological order. But yeah, okay, right.
People mostly say this is the worst Texas Chainsaw movie ever.
Why? Like plot wise?
I think just in general. I think
the Leatherface prequel one that I saw was worse.
Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely messier.
Sure, yeah,
you know,
for sure.
This one is very much hinges on the gimmick of the 3D.
Yeah.
This came out
seeing it not in 3D was like it was still okay.
Yeah, this came out around the same time as the second Silent Hill movie.
Okay.
With Jon Snow.
Oh,
in it, yeah, and that one was is that his name?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I remember Jon Snow. Yeah, that's also Fallon's cat's name as well.
Okay.
That one was really fucking terrible, and that's when people were like, "We're good. We don't need the 3D anymore. Maybe if the Minions come back, we'll watch 3D." You know.
But
what was the sexy kill?
This guy. Okay. Right. There's a guy. I guess they don't know. That's the part that I missed when I was half paying attention. I guess there's a guy they don't really know ship. And so it's like Heather, her best friend, Heather's boyfriend, and then like some guy. Yeah. Whose name I don't remember. Yeah. At one point I knew it. But fucking but yeah, so when they get to the house, so Verna, they think that Verna and Bubba's dead. So those were the two survivors from the burning it down in the first place. Or no, they thought that Bubba died in the fire because they found a burnt chainsaw. But Verna was the only survivor, and then she died, and we knew that. Yeah. But Bubba obviously also survived, but they don't know that because, you know, the vigilantes found the burnt up fucking chainsaw. Don't know why they thought that meant he was dead.
They're like, well, the instrument of death that he uses is fine. Not like you can get other chainsaws somewhere.
Right.
All right, let's all go home.
Right, like, oh yeah, well his chainsaw's burnt, so he's dead. It's like, do you see like a giant corpse next to it?
A giant hulking fucking monster wearing the mask of another human's face.
Yeah.
But and you know the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he wears a lady face.
Two lady faces,
and they're all okay with it. So it's a very pro, you know, gender fluid kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. So the kill, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because he's you know obviously he's back and he's back and he's grabbing all of them and you know torturing them. Yeah, exactly. It's my boy. He puts the random douchebag on a meat hook. So obviously off to a great start. Yeah. I'm all on board here. The guy starts trying to fight back. So Bubba fucking chainsaws him in half. Like, so he's hanging up there and he's just like, and we get a nice like full.
Was it the original? Was it the remake? When he cuts the dude's leg off and salt. Yeah, okay. I was like, was it the remake or was it the prequel? All right.
Yeah. So yeah, because in the original there's the meat hook scene, but he just puts her on it, and then later we see her in the freezer. In the remake, he puts the guy on it, cuts off the leg, or maybe got the leg earlier, I'm not sure, and then like packs it with salt.
Okay, that is that one. Again, these outside of the first 4 movies, the other ones all kind of blurred together for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because you know who the stars of the 4th movie were, right?
Which one's the 4th movie?
The Next Generation.
Oh no.
It was written by Ken Henkel, who was the original writer, and it's really fucking weird. It's about the Illuminati, basically. But the stars of that movie are Reese Witherspoon and fucking Matthew McConaughey.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Reese Witherspoon. Renee Zellweger.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Bridget Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Apparently, Matthew McConaughey, because he's from Texas, was like the biggest honor of his career was to be in a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie.
That makes me
And then in
happy.
the movie White Lotus, I think it was, the Renee Zellweger's character is like an aging actress, and they show clips from Texas Chainsaw: The Next Generation. Matthew McConaughey's got like a mechanical leg in it, and it's really fucking bizarre. Like the whole movie's about keeping the continuity up of people being scared to go to Texas and get like off the beaten path and stuff.
That's
but yeah, but the third one's actually really good too. The third one is with Ken Foray and fucking
I'm thinking of Salt
from Lord of the Rings. Viggo Mortensen.
Oh.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen's one of the Sawyer family in the third one.
Really?
Yeah, and he's great. He's really fucking good in that movie.
I'm not surprised.
Is he American? Or is he foreign?
No, fuck, I don't know. I should know this. If he is, hold on. He might be American.
Because he's got a hit. I don't know if he's got a movie or something coming out, but he's been out on the press tours again.
Yeah, he's American.
Okay, all right.
On The Dead Don't Hurt. Western set during the Civil War. Is that?
Oh yes. Okay, so that's what he's promoting then. Because there's been a lot of Lord of the Rings talk recently.
Okay.
But that was his first big movie was Texas Chainsaw 3.
Hell yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Chainsaw 3.
He's 65.
I know, right?
No, unacceptable.
Yeah, you see,
Sorry, what's his wife's name?
What is it?
Exene Cervenka? That's so fucking sick. And his kid's name is
fucking
Henry.
Eon Flux character.
Right? Oh no, okay, that was ex-wife. That was 87 and 97.
Okay.
Current partner, Ariadna Gill. Okay, that's slightly more normal.
To be fair, he deserves as many
He deserves whatever he wants.
Yeah. You've never seen we need to do a live stream of you watching the naked fight scene in
because you told me about it with
It's fucking 2 dudes full on hanging dong having a nice fight in a sauna, and it's body stabs and shit like that, but it's full dick on display. And at one point he's doing something, he puts a cigarette out on his tongue. Yeah. And I was just
I'm super allergic to cigarettes, but certain things that I'm that's kind of hot.
I'm not gay. Hot. I'm fully confident in my I love vaginas. And I was watching that fight scene and I'm like, I get it. Gay dudes, I'm like, I get it, And and it sounded it's like when you're at a baseball game.
No, I get it.
And it's I don't like hot dogs, but when I'm at a baseball game and I see it and I go, yeah, that would hit the spot right now.
That's amazing.
You ever go to 7-Eleven, you see it turning on the thing and it's glistening, and you're like, that'd be really good in my mouth right now.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly. No, I know exactly. Because I do like hot dogs, but I don't go out of my way, right? But
exactly. I don't go out of my way for dick, but in that moment, I was just
go for it.
My butt was just when in Rome.
Extra appropriate because Rome. What the fuck?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The kill.
Right.
You still haven't got. So he got meat hooked.
That was delightful. Yeah, I know. He got meat hooked and then slowly sawed in half horizontally.
See, we haven't done a review in a while, so I forgot what it's like to just take the conversation and go completely off in the rails.
And then, by the way, the fact that I frequently played the straight man lately is so funny to me. The fact that I'm back to the plot at hand, and you're just okay, Viggo Mortensen's dick.
Yeah. just dangling as he's fucking knifing a motherfucker. But, and again, that's all of those things, I think about the people who make movies.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see, the behind-the-scenes pictures of like the making of Star Wars, and there's a dude in like pink short shorts holding a boom mic, or there's like a gay dude in like there's a black dude with like a crop top in like the scene where the dude's cutting his leg off in Saw. And I'm just like, I imagine the people who are on set that day, it's their job. And like, okay, so today Viggo Mortensen is going to be completely nude, fucking knife fighting a dude, and just like guys just clock in at their job.
Like, alright, I'm here. Alright, Viggo, you can leave on the modesty pouch until the scene itself.
No,
and he's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm just hanging fucking dong, you know?
I've been thinking about that a lot lately because I've been following this intimacy coordinator on Instagram. Okay. And so, like, her entire job is to handle scenes like that. And it's just, I don't know, it's a super cool look into it.
Because Ewan McGregor and his wife, his wife was Ramona Flowers from fucking Scott Pilgrim. Oh my god.
That was insane.
Yeah. So husband and wife had to have an intimacy.
Yeah,
person.
they still have to like wear. Yeah, they still gotta like do all that. Well, because first of all, not everybody on set signed up to see two people.
But I mean, there's been movies,
and also like.
But there's been a lot of movies where people actually fucked.
No, for sure.
You know?
And in that case, either they shouldn't have done that or everyone agreed.
Because Kiefer Sutherland's dad, Donald Sutherland, and Redgrave. It wasn't Lynn Redgrave, but they made a movie called Don't Look Now. And first off, it has one of the most terrifying endings to any movie ever. This has nothing to do with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but no, you know what? Yeah. It does have something to do with Texas Chainsaw Massacre because it was that era of 1970s filmmaking where things were fucked up. It's about this husband and wife in England. Their daughter drowns. Okay. And she's wearing a red raincoat when she drowns. Their relationship is fucked up from that point on. They're having intimacy problems. They move to Rome for his job. His job is they are removing and cleaning stained glass windows from these churches and stuff like that. And there's all these murders. Bodies have been showing up, finding up in the canals in Venice. And they keep seeing this little person in a red raincoat. Yeah. And the wife goes to these women who are fortune tellers. The one woman's blind. And she's talking about this thing, and she sees a vision of this little person in a red raincoat. And there's this scene where the two of them have sex. They're getting ready to go to this party, and there's this sex scene, and it's very intimate, very raw. And apparently they had sex in real, because the director wanted them to connect in a way. But the way that the thing that the blind woman actually saw was the husband's death and his funeral. And in the end, what you actually find out was the little person in the red coat was actually a dwarf who was killing people and putting their bodies. So he finally confronts the little person. He's like, "I'm your dad," whatever. And she turns around. And it's this little person, and it's a little woman, and she's in the red raincoat, and she fucking slashes his throat. And that's what the fortune teller saw. And when you get to the whole thing and it all comes together, I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Insane. Like it's one of those endings. It's just like, what the fuck did I just, and it's called Don't Look Now. I ruined the ending for you, but it is one of the greatest. It is literally one of the greatest films I've ever seen in my entire life. I would put it in my top 20 movies ever made. Okay. And it's just absolutely beautiful. But it's just one of those, and there's been a lot of those situations. Cannibal Holocaust, there's a sex scene in Cannibal Holocaust where the woman in the crew that dies in the thing, she wanted to have sex with the main guy on camera to like break the tension and to make it more real, and he wasn't down with that. So she got like really pissed off at him about that and stuff like that, But there's been a lot of instances where it's actual intercourse, and I just imagine the people who are behind the scenes on it, because you do have to have like when we do scenes of like nudity and stuff, like we try to keep it to a respectable limit where it's just the people who have to be there. But I imagine because in a lot of stuff, like they find out there's gonna be titties and like every dude shows up and they're like, well, I'm just here to see what's going on, but so
because remember, never mind, we don't need to go off on that. The photographer for my part of Nunchucks.
Oh yeah, and I had to tell him, I was like, you're not allowed to put those. I need you to delete those pictures. Yep. Texas Chainsaw.
Yes, Texas Chainsaw. That absolutely marvelous kill. I do like they keep the meat hook thing. I don't know if it's because the first one was just so fucking iconic.
Yeah, I think so.
Because, I mean, hey, it makes sense, too, though, because if you worked at or were born in, depending on the canon timeline, a slaughterhouse, and you're killing people like meat, like how
they don't you're see gonna it hang as them people. Up. Yeah, they see it as
you're gonna hang them up. Makes it easier to dismember things.
The gun's no good. The hammer. Yeah, use the hammer. That's
oh my god. Yeah. Oh, and they had which one was it? Because again, I saw 3 of them back to back. Because in the original, they're like, oh, Grandpa could kill. What was it? It was like 60 cows in like 5 minutes or something like that, which is the bonk.
Get that bitch, Grandpa.
Yep.
And did you know that it was a 13-year-old under that makeup?
Yeah. But yeah, whichever of the other 2 I watched that legitimately had, it would have had to be, it would have had to be Leatherface, the prequel then, where he did get to just like bonk somebody. But yeah, I found the ending of 3D to be incredibly satisfying because, I don't know, I don't like misunderstandings in movies. I know that that's frequently like the plot.
Well, because the cops were the bad guys.
Of course.
In this
naturally.
One. Yeah.
But also specifically, like, well, except for that one guy, the one sheriff was good. But but like also specifically like Bubba being like, oh, that's my family, like that's the only family I've left, and then like them going back. I don't know if that was supposed to be as relieving as it was to me, but once it was like, oh, she's also been bequeathed Bubba. Like, I love that. I don't know. I really like that.
But they didn't go anywhere with it.
They didn't. Yeah. And that is something that I would have hoped they'd explore in an additional movie. I don't think they should have gone into it in that movie. I think that was the right way to end it. At least in my opinion, I liked how that felt.
But still, that line... But,
he literally warned me about it. Tony was like, all right, hold on, this is the cringiest part. And then she says that, and I was like, okay, we're done.
There's certain lines in movie history that there's no way for an actor to make them...
like, sound good.
Like, you look at, like, the dialogue that Hayden Christensen had to deliver in Phantom Menace, or in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and you're like, he did his best. He could.
Because that was, like, because the writing for... I liked the rest of the movie, just that moment, I was like, and like I said, I got forewarned. Like it was leading up to it.
The carnival scene was cool.
I liked the carnival. A lot. That was good. I liked that because of course the fucking the chainsaw the saw reference with the chainsaw would be like, haha, we're also same house. Oh shit! I liked that a lot. Like of course they would, but I liked the beat. The way that this played out really well. I liked the beats of it, the plot beats. Like there wasn't too long of like I said, like misunderstandings of things that would stress me out. The kills were glorious. Like I said, I love the ending of that. The prequel, I am not going to be so flattering towards.
No.
Oh my god. So
good.
Alright, when we went to watch this, Tony kind of spoiled it for me a little bit. He was like, the guy that you think it is, stop. What do you want me to call him?
I understand.
No,
he's gonna abandon me.
Oh my god, do you want me to call him Wawa Tony every time? Because I can.
No, because I'm assuming that dude eats a lot of Wawa too.
He just works at Wawa. He doesn't.
Okay.
That's why I call him Wawa. I found him at a Wawa.
I know.
Like in the dumpster.
Like Elvira.
Yeah. No, he was working there, and I sent my order to the wrong Wawa, and now
you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Again, yeah.
It's all cyclical.
But yeah, fucking, Leatherface.
So to preface this one.
Okay.
This one got released to like Apple TV.
Yeah, it was like direct to something. Because
we had so at the Wayne, and you were there at the time. We got the trailer and we got the poster.
Yes.
And I thought it was going to be a theatrical release, and they were only asking for a 1-week reservation. So I gave it a 1-week reservation, and then literally on the Thursday when it was supposed to arrive to me, they said, "Oh, we're just going digital." So there was no time, so I had to quickly rush to get another movie to fit that spot, because like, nobody's going to come to this. We didn't show horror movies very often.
Oh, no,
but I was like, I don't want to show a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Fuck it. And like they literally waited till the last minute
like,
to say it's just going straight to digital. So it was like Apple or something like that. So I didn't see it till way later.
Yeah. So that logo popped up and Tony was like, "Yeah, I went straight to whatever." But he prefaced this immediately. So we watched like the opening scene where Jed is still a little kid.
Yeah.
And it's his birthday, and they're like, "Hey, kill this man," and he couldn't, and Grandpa. That's what it was. Grandpa does the funk. I'm making this sound infinitely more comical than the reality of an old man killing someone with a single
was
blow.
pretty lame, and the bonk actually adds to the scene, to be honest.
Yeah, I was slightly... Okay, so... I have a lot of beef with the prequel. But anyways, yeah, we start watching, we get to...
Beef because of the... Yeah.
That would be famous. Why do I remember that? It's fine. That is... In case anyone is curious,
so
that is how you... Yeah, that is how you refer to human meat when it is meant for consumption.
Oh, wait. Did I show you the thing recently?
No.
The fucking dude who... Did you see... You watched Top Gun Maverick with us?
Yes. Okay. I've not seen the first Top Gun.
So the dude who was like his like rival, like the handsome guy.
Sure.
So he told a story during a press junket recently because I guess he's got some new movie on
Did he eat something?
Netflix. No, his sister went on a date with a guy, and the guy was like, "Can I like rub lotion on you?" And she's like, "Yeah." And the guy got really weird, so she left, and she went to like a place to have it like hey, I think this guy was trying to rape me. And apparently the lotion they rubbed on her was like what they used for like breaking down human meat. And then apparently when the police went there was other women's bodies in the thing. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's a little insane.
Yeah, because usually you hear the same fucking shit over and over again at press junkets of movies. And then I was like, attempted cannibalism? What?
Oh my god.
What is happening?
That's wild. I gotta watch it.
I swore I sent that to you. Because the moment I
if you send it on Facebook, I haven't checked my Facebook.
Okay, I clicked on the thing and the guy's telling the story, and the dude he's telling the story to is like some fucking streamer guy, and I was like,
whatever.
And I'm like, whatever. And then he tells the story, and I'm like,
you probably sent it on Facebook.
Okay, I might have, but I was just like, Metz needs to see this right now.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but the police were like, yeah, that's what they use for breaking down like human like things for like cannibalism, and I was like,
okay.
Watch my movie on Netflix. I can't tell
you what the chemical is, but I don't know off the
I'll
top
send
of
it
my
to you.
head.
He says it what it is in it, but I totally forgot.
I just don't know off the top of my head. I can think of a few things that could theoretically break down human meat, but then like, never mind.
But I was watching it while I was working one of the overnights, and I was delusional, and I was like,
you're gonna go back and try to find it, and it's not.
Oh no, I know exactly what it is, but I was just like, what is happening? All right, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. So
Leatherface.
Tony's like,
Tony?
Oh my god. He's like, so it's not the kid that you think it's gonna be. We're introduced to like a diverse cast of characters, and one of them is Jedediah, and you know, and they even did this fucking bullshit where they're like, oh, we changed his name when he went. And you can tell that the entire movie hinges on this plot twist.
And the mom is Lily Taylor.
Yes. Yeah. And that, in my opinion, took a lot
Great X-Files episode she's in.
Yeah?
Where she's blind, but she's connected to this killer, and she can see, like, the murders and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I saw that episode. I haven't watched X-Files in a long time, like 14 years. But, wow. It's fine. I did enjoy X-Files a lot.
Oh, yeah,
I
me
was
too.
watching it. I just have to.
But I was watching them live.
Well, yeah.
Like, I in 1993, I remember sitting down and watching the pilot. Yeah.
That's nuts. But I digress. Well, actually, you digress. No, but
that's all this channel is digression.
Right, but yeah, you could tell that the entire movie hinged on that plot twist, and it was very frustrating because that like the plot suffered for it frequently, and I don't know, I hate what they did to him because first of all, the second they introduced Bud, who I think his regular name was. Starts with an H. I could have sworn it was Horton, but now my brain's like, I'm not sure. It was something weird like that.
I don't remember.
But they called him Bud.
I saw this one time, and the entire time, this is back in the time when I was righteously indignant about everything. I was just like,
yeah. I mean, that's kind of a fair reaction to this one, I'm not gonna lie. I fell in love with him instantly. Like, I was like, I would like to adopt this child, like, be my baby.
Be my baby.
Yeah. But, like, I just wanted, like, I was, like, instantly, I would die for this kid.
You said Grogu.
What?
Grogu.
Oh, the Baby Yoda thing, yeah.
I saw him the first
I had
time.
I had that reaction, but to Bud.
I know, but, like, Grogu, I was like, I don't know what that is, but I would die for it.
That's fair. But yeah, that was my reaction to Bud. And then this kid turns around as they're talking to Bud, and I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be Jedediah.
Yep.
Because he's the complete opposite.
Yep.
He's this skinny little dude with like a fucking like white supremacist cut and like sorry, you know the haircut I'm talking about, right? Where it's like kind of shaved here and like just a little long. Yeah,
I get it. This channel is very anti-white supremacism. So,
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But and like he's super talkative. He's like calculating. I'm like, why did they make him methodical? I don't like that because like the whole point. Like, okay, looping back again to the victim thing, like, this is what I mean by they clearly hinged it on this plot twist, and it pisses me off, because Bud could have legitimately just been a good, like, Bubba, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But they had to kill him off in order to make, Jackson, into Bubba.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it just pisses me off, because I feel like it took away from the plot a lot. And then also I'm obviously mad that that Bud died, because I would lay my life on the line for this kid. But and then like I don't know.
He appreciates.
Right? No, but yeah, Jackson or Jedediah is just so like he's so the opposite of everything, because like I said, he's like calculating and he's like a leader.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing with Bubba like is he's just along
Which made
for the
me go
ride.
Like, did these people watch the first movie?
Exactly. Like you're left with that feeling the entire movie, because he takes charge. When they all break out and it's like it's him, it's fucking that couple that had sex with that corpse.
Yeah.
And I'm just
like
gonna drop that and move on.
Yeah.
Side note, actually, on that note, we see for these are supposed to be children, you know, because they're in like a child's facility and all that. We see so much of that couple having sex, like just an obscene amount. I'm like, I know these actors are like 30 or whatever, but you do realize they're supposed to be and like I know that that's supposed to be fucked up on its own right.
Yeah.
But why do we need to see it then? Why are we getting like softly lit shots like that doesn't portray it as fucked up?
It's like Silent Night, Deadly Night, where he sees the couple who's having sex before the nun bursts in and tells them they're naughty and stuff like that. It's like, those people are clearly in their 30s. What are they doing in an orphanage? Like, you know?
Like, I don't, it just...
And the one looks like Diane Franklin, it's weird, you
know. There was like also a weird like jealousy plot line there, and I just did not give a fuck about that couple whatsoever, and they tried so hard to make you give a fuck. Because you're like, oh, it could be anyone. Maybe this is Bubba with like this girl or whatever.
They telegraphed who it was. Like, literally...
I actually noticed this was so, maybe not as subtle as I think it was, but so shortly after that scene, you know, they get put to bed or whatever, and you know, they're all breaking out or whatever. There is a single shot of Jackson waking up.
Yeah.
They close up on his eyes opening, and I'm like, they wouldn't do that if that wasn't Bubba.
No, exactly.
Like, it is so obvious. But then why do we care about the couple whose names I already forget?
We don't.
We care a little bit about the nurse because she's interesting at least. Like, she's the odd one out in the group. We care about Bud because he's a good boy and did not deserve this. You're
a good boy and you didn't deserve this.
But why do we care about this couple? We don't. I don't give a fuck. They clearly want to do some Bonnie and Clyde thing with that, but like they're both doomed anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Bubba's not supposed to have anyone by the time we get back to Texas Chainsaw as a concept. I just, I try not to be negative on movies, and obviously I enjoyed watching it well enough that I remember all these plot beats, but like, this was disappointing.
I've seen this once, and I remember enough of it to be like, eh.
Yeah.
Everyone
was decent.
Everyone who has done a Texas Chainsaw again, like, the fourth movie was done by the writer of the first movie. And it is a soft reimagining of the first movie.
Yeah.
But everyone who's done a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie since that has fundamentally misunderstood Tobe Hooper's vision for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that's the thing that bothers me is, like, I don't know if you guys understand the functionality of what made that first movie work so well, what made the second movie work so well. And again, a lot of people don't like the second movie. I love that the second movie's poster is the Breakfast Club poster, but with the Texas Chainsaw characters.
Yeah.
And Golden Globus Cannon Group, they were like, we didn't know you were making a comedy, and they're like, did you not see the fucking poster?
Yeah.
Like,
it's also interesting because you can tell that the original is supposed to have dark comedy elements as well.
Oh, it's
like,
super dark comedy.
Yeah, but completely flew over most people's heads apparently, and that's why the second one is so much more comedy. But yeah, no.
And the third one goes for a more darker vision of it, and it doesn't work as well as the first one, but it still works. Even the fourth one has a lot of elements in it that I like. That just fever dream concept of you've literally, because in the third movie or the second movie was John Larroquette was the star of a show called Night Court. Okay. Love Night Court.
Familiar with
Richard
Night Court,
Mall, you know, and stuff like that. He played a lawyer on it. He was the narrator of the first few movies. Okay. That scroll that goes down the thing. Yeah. And in the one of the movies, second or third one, it goes like his sister Sally jumped out of a window in hell, and that's exactly what it feels like. People who accidentally make a wrong turn wind up in a waking nightmare, and the girl jumps out a fucking window, running away from a dude in a human face mask with a chainsaw. Like, it's a waking nightmare, you know? And that's what I think a lot of these movies lose, is that they try to give pathos to things that don't need pathos. They try
and
to...
they take the pathos away from what did have it naturally. Bubba and his interactions with his family.
Exactly. And I think the focus on the family and that concept is what's the strongest. And then to create all this other lineage and these other, this other, you know... I don't know, it just doesn't work for me, and that's why I'm not a huge fan. I like the brutality of the remake. Even the prequel to the remake had some cool stuff in it, but like when you get beyond that, like 3D, I was just like, oh my god, like what are we doing? Like what, you know? And then this prequel you're talking about now, I think it was one of those ones, and there's very few movies I do this. I had to stop it, go do other shit, and then come back to it. So I was like, and then I needed to finish it just out of sheer obligation.
I enjoy, so like, there are times that I enjoy media because I want to be in the universe of it, not because the thing itself is good. That was one of those times where I was like, I want to finish this movie, like, just because I'm in the universe of it. Also, again, very much wanted to adopt Bud and take him in and, like, raise him. But, which, side note, okay, me with maternal instincts, wild. But apparently the answer to me needing something, you know, the thing that gives me maternal instincts is severely fucked up child.
True. Possible Texas Chainsaw Massacre maniac.
That beat a man so hard into a window that it shattered. That's theoretically bulletproof glass that shattered, and he was able to like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that scene.
Yeah, it was a good scene. That's my good boy. But yeah, that's what it took to unlock my maternal instincts, I guess. But I
had a baby who could beat a man's skull into paste.
But but right, so like
you're gonna love the It's Alive movies.
Yeah.
Where women are giving birth to monster babies who are come out of the fucking vagina and just kill everyone in the room.
Okay, so we're kind of basic.
Yeah, you know.
But shit, what was I gonna say? Sorry, I went back to the fundamental misunderstanding thing because, like, you know, again, like this prequel has Bubba growing up in, like, because they say he's been there for 10 years. Yeah. So, like, you don't get the opportunity for his family to continue fucking with him. They, like, call him an abuse victim where they're like, well, we don't want to give you back to Verna. But by the end, you're rooting for him to go back to Verna, and it's just, like, I don't know. Especially because, like, he had people and then lost them. He doesn't necessarily have loss as his, like, trauma motivator.
Exactly.
You know, it's actually kind of the opposite. He's never had anyone accept his family.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's no one to lose. It's just his family, and this is how they've raised him, and fuck if he knows any better. Yeah. And I just, sorry,
No, again, it's just one of those things where these movies, it's cashing in on the name. You know, and they'll give you a few little things, but for the most part, I think that they all just understand what made the original film work so well, and they're all just trying so hard to connect to that movie. And I look at these movies, it's almost like when your hometown has like a fair, and they have like these games of chance, and there's like a thing spinning, you have to throw something to connect to it. That's what these movies are. It's just trying to fucking throw anything to the wall to see what sticks that has little connections to that thing, and they don't understand that, like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre didn't need sequels.
No.
You know, it was a standalone fucking story of survivalist horror, and it works so well that it doesn't need a continuation. We understand as an audience that this has happened before, it's going to happen again. And there's more people out there like this, but this family exists, and these people made a wrong turn into hell. You know, and then you try to create a lore around it, and the lore doesn't work. And that's the thing that
was something both movies that I watched afterwards had issues with.
You know, and it's the idea of this is an IP that people know. This is something we need to exploit. I honestly, I think that, you know, Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses is the closest we've gotten to a true continuation of Texas Chainsaw 3.
Okay.
I did a renew video on how I would continue the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Theater series. So if you go and look on this channel for that, but like again, it's these like Apple TV. Like imagine like one of the biggest franchises. One of the, you know, everyone knows who Leatherface is. You know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the most famous titles of any movie ever. You know, the mob moved in and took over the movie to when it was in theaters to bully movie theaters into giving up everything, just like they did with Deep Throat and porno movies at the time. But like, I don't know, like I just feel like this is not a series that people who are making the sequels understand. You know? And all it takes is going back and watching the first movie and being like, oh, okay, I get what we're doing here, but movie studios are like, we own the rights, we need to make a sequel. And it's just like, oh, Leatherface. Okay, it's a dude in a we could sell a Halloween costume of that.
Exactly.
And that bums me out because, like, again, like I said, the first movie is an act of, like, angry, brutal genius. It came out at the perfect time in the middle of Watergate. America was suspicious of itself and angry. You have these fucking hippies, and they're like, because there was the Netflix one, the newest one, where they were like, it's not good. The Board Queen is great in it. But you have this thing where, like, there's a scene where he goes into a bus of Leatherface goes into a bus of influencers, and they're like, try anything, we're gonna cancel you, bro. And people were like all mad about that, and I was like, well, dude, go back and watch the first one. These are fucking hippies. They're like talking about like the zodiac signs, and the earth is in you know, whatever those things are. And I was like, it kind of works.
That one kind of works. It's still also like
but the newest one was bad though. The main character is a survived a school shooting, but then when she's cornered, she uses a gun, and I was like, well, wait a minute a second. Like, I get it, like, you're surviving. But yeah, not a good movie. Like, again, I feel like their slavishness to the Leatherface character is what upsets these movies from being what they truly could be. Texas is terrifying. Chainsaws are terrifying. Massacres are terrifying. And to just go, the Leatherface character could be so much more if it becomes a symbol. Like I said in mine, I was like, Saw's family. I was like, that would be a cool way to use, like, if it became an incel thing. Like, if dudes online started to rally around the idea, like QAnon. Like, if because in part 2, part 3, the Saw's family becomes the quote of the thing. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool if, like, a Reddit group spawns through this, and they become worshippers of Leatherface, and then it's just random people in the mask instead of one individual figure. And the idea that they're warping this family and their fucked up ideas into their own ideology would be a cool way to take the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series into the future. It was like the newest Planet of the Apes movie, where they take Caesar's teachings and they warp it, and it's all about, that's generally about how the word of God or Jesus has been warped throughout the years by humans and stuff like that. So it's like that'd be kind of a cool way to take the core beliefs of the first movie and make it perverted into something new, where these fucking dudes online, like these people in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Sawyer family, they're these white trash redneck cannibals. But like if these people who are in places of wealth or power start taking that message and adapting it, there's a social construct there, you know? Yeah.
No, I agree. I like that. That's good.
What else?
Yeah. No, I don't have anything else really. I want to watch all of it now.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
I think you'll like 2.
I think I'll like
Bubba's got a girlfriend. 2 I think is a lot of fun. 3 has some really cool stuff in it. 4 I enjoy elements of. There's so much weird shit in part 4. But then like the remake has things I'm okay with, but then also like what's her name? Beale. Jessica Biel is wearing a white t-shirt the entire time. She's getting wet, but there's no nipples at any point. And I think that's like that's like a slap in the face of cinema lovers.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, in the original, we can see, even if there's no exposed fully, you can see, fuck's her name, one of their nipples like the whole time.
Marilyn Burns is Sally.
I think it was her. Yeah.
Because she's in his Toby Hooper's follow-up movie, Eaten Alive, which I'm not a fan of.
Okay.
But it has some interesting stuff in it. She's in it. Winslow, who plays the Phantom of the Paradise, plays her husband in it, and Robert Englund, who's Freddy Krueger, eventually was in it. And then he has the line, "My name's Buck, and I'm here to fuck."
Oh yeah.
That's used in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. But yeah, Eaten Alive is a pale reimagining of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but Toby Hooper made it. But Marilyn Burns, I thought, was an actress who deserved a lot better. In part 4, she's just like a woman on a gurney in a hospital, and she passed away a couple years ago. And that's what really bothered me about the Netflix movie, the recent one, was they have the woman from Mandy playing Sally as an older version of Sally, and they're basically trying to ape the whole Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween 2018, where Sally became a Texas Ranger and she's out hunting Leatherface and stuff like that, which is
that doesn't feel correct.
And it's not the same actress playing her, so I feel like it's not. It feels weird and gross, to do that. So I don't know. It's a very, very flawed film series. There are things about them each that I like, but I literally forgot about the prequel as soon as I left the theater.
Oof, yeah.
No, I didn't even there was no theater. I watched it.
Yeah, I said you paused it.
I watched it on my laptop at the theater.
Oh, okay. That's why you
our
said
theater.
Yeah.
Because Jared, who used to work with us, had a Hulu account.
Oh, yeah,
and I used his Hulu account to watch the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Anything else?
No. The original's always going to be a masterpiece.
The original is a masterpiece. All right, that's it.
That's it.